it's National No Smoking Day. We're about to meet a man whose ambition is to rid the world of cigarettes by switching smokers to heated tobacco products.
What's slightly surprising is that the bloke saying this is the UK boss of a company that currently makes more than 800 billion cigarettes a year. Before we discuss what this all means, let's take a look at these statistics from the UK.
There are 9.4 million smokers in the UK. The habit kills more than 100,000 people each year.
And more than 1 in 10 mothers admitted being smokers late into their pregnancy. Well, joining us now is the UK Managing Director of tobacco firm Philip Morris, Peter Nixon, and health editor Dr. Hilary Jones. Good morning to you, Mr. Nixon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is like McDonald's, you know, bringing in salad, isn't it? It's like, it's a joke, isn't it? I mean, your company produces 800 billion cigarettes a year.
Yes, it's
You admit that?
Yes, of course.
If you want to stop smoking, why don't you stop selling them?
If we stop selling them, people wouldn't necessarily stop smoking, right? They just switch to somebody else's product.
Well, you would lose money and you would lose your competitive edge with your rivals, yes. But if you really want to stop people smoking, why don't you, worldwide, just say, enough? We really believe this. We're not just saying it. We're going to actually stop you smoking by removing cigarettes.
Because I don't think that's not going to fix the issue. We have in the UK, as you said, 9.5 million smokers, you said. I think it's actually 7.5 in the UK. Those people, if predictions are that that's going to continue for another 30 or 40 years, because people are addicted to cigarettes and they're harmful. What we're trying to do is provide alternative products.
Why do you sell them if they're harmful and addictive?
But the key thing is that they're less harmful.
But out of interest, why do you sell them then?
Why do
if you know they're harmful and addictive, why do you sell them?
Because smokers want the products, right? Smokers are addicted to the products.
But people want lots of bad things. But if you yourselves who make them admit that they're harmful and addictive, why sell them? You know that you're causing harm and addiction to people. And you're making billions of dollars doing it, pounds doing it.
There are a billion smokers in the world. And what we're trying to do is to provide alternatives, less harmful alternatives to those smokers. Because we know in the UK, smoking will continue for another 30, 40 years if something is not done. But there's no reason why people should smoke anymore. These new products, you mentioned heated tobacco.
Well, one of the reasons why people smoke is because cigarettes are available.
Yes, they are. And I think realistically, people are just not going to just... Yes, but they're not going to just stop smoking.
What have you done personally?
I've put all my energies into trying to switch people from the most harmful form of tobacco, which is cigarettes, to less harmful, e-cigarettes as well as heated tobacco. And what we've done globally, we've already get 6 million people onto IQOS, which is a heated tobacco product.
But you personally have stopped smoking?
Yeah, I use IQOS and some e-cigarettes, so I don't smoke at all anymore.
But the fact of the matter is, if people couldn't get hold of cigarettes, and if you stopped making money out of cigarettes, people would have a much better chance of giving up smoking, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. But the fact is that they're illegal.
You're part of the problem, not part of the solution.
We are absolutely a part of the problem, and we want to be a part of the solution. And that's why I believe by providing alternatives. Now, e-cigarettes in the UK the last 10 years have been brilliant at getting people off cigarettes. About 1.5 million people have stopped smoking because of e-cigarettes. And that's about 20–30% success rate for people. Heated tobacco, we give this product to smokers for 1 or 2 weeks for them to try, if they're not sure it's going to work or not. We give it to them for free for a week or 2 weeks. 80% of people, 80% stop smoking at the end of that 1 or 2 weeks and switch to this.
Why do you only care about people in this country?
Well, we care. I mean, our strategy is global. We want to switch.
But what about in Indonesia, where you advertise cigarettes to young people? You spent $94 million on television advertising in Indonesia in 2016 alone. 225,000 deaths attributed to tobacco use every year in Indonesia. 2 out of 3 adult men there smoke daily, right? Yeah. Is it just easier to sell it here to the groovy crowd in Britain than it is in Indonesia, where so many people are dying? In 2016, you launched your Milbra Filter Black brand. TV viewers bombarded with numerous adverts of this new brand, etc., etc. You have 1/3 of the Indonesian cigarette market.
Yeah,
packet of fags is $1.20. I mean, my point being, this all sounds great, right? Until you look at what your company does worldwide, where it's preying on people with stuff that you say yourself is harmful and addictive. Why is it not happening in Indonesia, for example?
In Indonesia, we've actually advocated to change the regulations there. We actually we would happily take advertising off TV, and others do. And yes, we do.
Why don't you?
We still sell cigarettes.
Why don't you take advertising off TV? You keep saying we'd happily, we think it's harmful, we think it's addictive, I've given up, right? We don't want any TV advertising, and yet you continue to sell 800 How many billion is it? How many? 800 billion cigarettes, and you continue to advertise aggressively all around the world, selling them. I mean, forgive me if I'm slightly bemused by the way this conversation's going. It's like, I don't get it.
Well,
if you want to stop people advertising cigarettes on TV, you have the power as a senior Philip Morris executive to stop advertising on TV. You just stop advertising on TV, don't you?
I think Indonesia there's only a few countries in the world you can actually advertise, and Indonesia is one of those where you can.
But why don't you stop? Knowing the damage it does, why don't you stop advertising it?
Because in Indonesia we don't sell alternative products. We've rolled out these products over the last 3 or 4 years. It's not going to change overnight. Let's be honest. It's not everyone's going to.
You sound like the fox in the hen coop saying, you know, stop eating hens, and then quietly you're eating all the hens.
But the alternatives. We could just stop selling cigarettes and not. We've invested $6 billion in research and development on products which are less harmful. We could just keep selling cigarettes.
But if you stop selling cigarettes, as you know, you go out of business, right? It is your business.
Yes, we would go out of business.
You go out of business. So actually, there's just a financial thing here, isn't it? You want to carry on harming people and making them addicted to your product, knowing it's harmful and addictive, and the only reason you're not stopping selling it altogether is because it would affect you financially, right?
We actually want to reduce the harm. That's why we want to switch all the smokers in the world.
Stop selling them then.
Well, these heated tobacco, we sold 40 billion of those last year.
Right.
6 years ago, we sold none. So that's 13% of our revenues globally in 3 or 4 years are on these less harmful products.
All right, Hilary, apparently,
so that's gone quite quickly.
I don't really get all this, but
the difference between a vape and a heated tobacco product.
Is he right to say the new products are massively less harmful?
I think they're putting a lot of hope in the new technology because they're heating the tobacco rather than burning the tobacco. But a lot of the research that I've shown is actually it's not a great deal less harmful. You're getting less tar, but you've still got 4,000 odd toxins coming from that heated tobacco that could potentially cause damage.
So still addictive, still harmful?
Absolutely. You've still got the nicotine, which is the addictive element. But if you've got less tar, that's a good thing. It's the other toxins that we can't be sure about. So you've got volatile organic compounds that are being created by heating tobacco that is still going to be a worry. And MPs have called for more research into this.
Is it better for someone to be using an alternative than to be smoking a cigarette?
Well, we know it's better to use vapes than cigarettes because you're not getting the tar, you're not getting the toxins, you're just getting the nicotine, which is much less harmful than the other things. We don't know yet, I don't think, about, you know, the research needs to be done on heated tobacco. It's the tobacco which is the problem, not the nicotine, and that's a very important distinction.
The trouble is, I mean, you must be you're in a very difficult position because I think what viewers will see is that you want to switch your business from a toxic, harmful business which kills people to an alternative. I mean, you're basically here because you want people to buy this alternative product. But you're a cigarette boss who stopped smoking, running a cigarette company which claims it wants people to stop smoking. And as cancer research say, this is staggering hypocrisy. I mean, it just must be a very odd position for you to be in, to say, don't buy our products, and then put us out of business.
When people hear it the first time, they have the same reaction. But I don't think it's odd at all. If we have a product which we know is much less harmful than a cigarette, why wouldn't we give it to our consumers?
But
the company who does.
If you,
the best way to get them to buy it?
If you genuinely think that cigarettes are that harmful, stop selling cigarettes.
But is that going to solve the issue?
No, but if you genuinely believe in your new product, right, and this is the brave new world, stop selling all conventional cigarettes tomorrow and just sell this stuff. That's the way to do it, isn't it?
That's what we want to do.
Right, but you're currently producing 800 billion fags a year.
We're just not going to get there overnight. It's going to take.
But you could get there much faster if you just stopped selling the really bad stuff, knowing it's really bad, and went to what you think is a better version.
The trouble is, you'd take a massive financial.
Trouble is, you'd lose your bonuses, wouldn't you?
But as you said earlier, we would have to close down our business.
How much money do you earn in your job?
I do well, and I'm very lucky.
What's your salary?
I can't really give my salary on national TV. I don't think it's really fair. It's a bit of a personal question.
But
I'm very happy with what.
Was it $1 million?
I'm very,
$2 million?
very lucky person.
3 million?
No, I wish it was that much, but it's
not. Under $1 million?
Yes.
What's your bonus?
My bonus is largely dependent on how many people I get to stop. No, absolutely not. It's how many people I get to stop smoking cigarettes and switch to alternatives.
Are your sales of conventional cigarettes growing or falling?
Conventional's going down.
Right. So here's the problem then, right? Your conventional business model of conventional cigarettes is dropping, so you need to have a new business model which is more popular. Enter the new brave new world of these new things, right? That's really what it's about. You're doing it because of commercial necessity.
Yeah.
You're doing it because your sales are falling.
But globally, the WHO says there's a billion smokers now, and in 5 years there'll be a billion smokers. They will still exist. In the UK, we'll have smokers for another 30, 40 years if we don't do something. And on No Smoking Day, I think it's really important that people understand there are alternatives. Over half of smokers, and Dr. Hilary referred to e-cigarettes, don't know that they're less harmful. Isn't it awful if those people continue to smoke? Not knowing that these
What is? I don't think it's awful. What is almost laughable?
If they don't know.
But what is almost laughable is it's you saying it.
Yes.
With respect to you.
Because you
right?
earn money.
A highly paid executive of a company that produces 800 billion cigarettes a year, telling us with a straight face they're harmful and addictive, but we're going to carry on selling them. But we also want you to buy these other slightly less harmful, slightly less addictive.
I'd love to stop selling cigarettes. I want to be the first
stop
MD
selling
to stop
them.
Well, as you said,
Seriously,
if I
just
stop, I'd have to close the business and I wouldn't be able to invest.
Here's
$6
what you
billion in
do.
these.
When you produce harmful, addictive things which kill people, right? The best way to stop harming people and making them addicted and killing people is to stop selling them.
Or would they stop smoking? That's the thing. Or would they just switch to another brand?
They would have less options.
There's another issue here, Piers. This is perhaps not the poacher becoming gamekeeper, but the poacher finding new prey. And the danger is, I think, that by selling it as something that is less harmful, you'll get new recruits, younger people smoking for the first time, thinking, oh, this is much less harmful. Actually, smoking kills in any shape or form, and we don't want to encourage
You're the
that.
poacher finding new prey. How do you plead?
We just don't see it. We don't see it. In Japan, for example, we launched this 4 or 5 years ago, and we see 98% of people who buy this product are former smokers, adult smokers. We don't see young people picking up this
Have
product
sales
at all.
gone down in Japan of cigarettes? Your
Have
cigarettes?
been declining over the period. They are declining in many developed countries. The point is, how do we get people not to smoke as soon as possible? It is a business strategy as well. I make no apology for that. We're a business. But if the smoker switches, it's better for them, it's better for society, and it's also better for
How many
business.
people do you think have died from cigarettes bought from your company, ever?
Look, half of the people who smoke will die from a
No, I mean, just
smoking-related disease.
specifically for people who are addicted to your cigarettes.
I've never done the numbers. I know in the UK, unfortunately, 78,000 people a year die from smoking. And that doesn't have to happen anymore. There's no reason why people have to
But it's
smoke
happening because Philip Morris has led the charge in delivering and serving and selling these harmful addictive products to the public. Do you accept that?
We are part of the problem. I absolutely accept that.
Are you killers?
People die because of cigarettes and we sell them. We take that responsibility and I take it really, really seriously. That's why I put 100% of my effort in trying to get them to stop smoking.
Well, look, we've had a lot of people coming on today who I think have got balls of steel to come on and try and defend the indefensible. You joined that pantheon this morning, so thank you very much
Thank you very much
for joining us.